There's no question that car and truck designs have changed since the doors opened at the Technical Center in 1955. We've seen two-tone and tri-tone paint schemes and wrap-around windshields, tail fins that have reached astronomical heights, and station wagons that have been transformed into minivans. And the truck market has grown to become approximately half of our entire volume. The process of developing a vehicle has also changed dramatically as computers become a way of life for all of us. Today, we're constantly looking for better ways to improve our design process, reduce development times, and to bring our products to market faster. We're also taking major steps to strengthen the visual brand character of all of our products. In our crowded market, it is critical that every GM vehicle project a strong and consistent image which can easily be understood by our customers. For example, Chevrolets must always look like Chevrolets, even from a block away. And Cadillacs must be recognized for having the highest standards throughout the world. I thought you would enjoy a short video that will give you an overview of our design process that we use to create new cars and trucks for all the General Motors domestic divisions.
Every GM car and truck gets its start here at Design Center. Over 1,500 people contribute their own special talents to create what we believe are the world's most competent and exciting vehicles. Designers, sculptors, engineers, human factor specialists, aerodynamic experts, technicians, and craftspeople all work together as a team to produce the next generation of cars and trucks. We begin by working with the marketing division to establish precisely what kind of car we're going to develop. We want to identify all the customer's needs up front, the overall size, the performance characteristics, and the car's image. The packaging group then takes the essential ingredients, the engine, the drivetrain, the fuel tank, and most important, the driver and passengers, and puts them into a configuration we can design around. We then turn the project over to the design studio in the form of criteria, the ground rules for a particular vehicle. In the initial concept or bubble-up phase, we develop sketches loosely based around the criteria. Whether the designer works on paper or on a computer, this phase of design is the artist version of brainstorming, a search for something fresh, something that will strike a chord with the intended buyer. We take the most promising sketches and recreate them in full size over the packaging criteria. This is where our engineers come in. They help throughout the process to make sure that the design meets the engineering goals, is manufacturable, and is in line with government regulations. Working from the same set of criteria and customer needs, the interior team has begun developing themes for the vehicle. While the designers sketch, the engineers lay out the interior package, determining the location of the seats, the controls, the instrument cluster, the things that really define the interior. Next, we get to shape and sculpt our design and see how the two-dimensional sketch feels in 3D. Here's where we get to be the customer. We can sit down and grip the steering wheel, look out over the instrument panel, and get a real feel of the design. It's also where we get input from the human factors group to ensure controls can be reached, sight lines are clear, and that all of the customer's requirements are met. The exterior renderings are also moving into three-dimensional clay models. Adding color helps us read the surface. We see the highlights and understand the form better. This is a time for evaluation and evolution, an ongoing process with a lot of back and forth and fine-tuning. There are reviews with design management, the division, and with the customer to determine which of several competing directions generates the most excitement. The winning scale model is now developed into a detailed full-size clay. With a decal-like material known as Dynoc, we give the model a metallic feel of a painted surface. With metallic tape and real wheels, we can arrive at a very accurate representation. Here is where our design first sees the light of day. Literally, we take the full-size clay model outside to the Design Center patio. The natural lighting gives us a good idea of what the production model will look like on the road. After Design Center and divisional approval of the exterior and interior mock-ups, three things begin to happen at once. We start a fiberglass model. We take mathematical data from the full-sized clay, and everything suddenly gets more colorful. Color on a product is a clue to character. We track color trends in graphics, fashion, and hard goods, and select colors that are in keeping with the vehicle's brand character and intended audience. The second process that follows approval is the releasing of the design to our customers at the division in the form of math data. We carefully measure the surfaces of the clay, which generates the math data that will be transferred to the machinery that will generate all the stamping dies, tools, and molds necessary to produce the vehicle. The third process may be the most exciting, building a fiberglass model of the design. Not only does this end up looking like a real vehicle, this is where we pull together the interior and exterior components for the first time. The fabrication shops create the entire vehicle from scratch. A fiberglass skin is created and detailed with custom-made exterior and interior parts, such as wheels, door handles, headlights, seats, glass. Every component of the vehicle is either handcrafted or milled from computer data. The pieces are assembled, painted, and installed, and it all comes together over a rolling armature. What began as an idea has evolved into a three-dimensional production template for an exciting future GM vehicle.